Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we are going to show you how to get maximum points in squad battles on legendary difficulty. We know there are some people out there who only play squad battles and don't play get people online, or those who simply want to just beat legendary to get more points in less time to get those weekly rewards. Today we're going to show you the best way to do that. But before we continue, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications bell, as this goes a long way to supporting us. Also, do this right now. Go to the comment section and tell us what topics you want us to cover next. Right, let's get to it. So first up, we have a disclaimer, and one thing we want to make clear to you right away is that playing on legendary this year is extremely hard. It is probably the most difficult it has ever been in any FIFA. So we strongly advise that people who are extremely skilled tackling this mode, ideally Division 1 players and better, because it can get very frustrating with how unrealistically difficult it can be at times. So we do want you to bear that in mind before beginning. So what is the criteria for max points? Well, the things that you need to focus on are on this list. The colors represent how important each thing is, with green being the most important, such as scoring 5 goals, and red being much less important, such as possession. So it's something that you want to try and maximize when you play, but we will discuss these points more as the video progresses. So moving into competitor mode next. So the first thing that we suggest everybody does is turn the competitor mode off. What this mode does is it makes the AI basically impossible to play against, and it's almost like playing against a real professional. As we get no extra points for playing on competitor mode, we do suggest turning it off. To do this, go to the main menu and select game settings, switch the difficulty to legendary and set the competitor mode to off. Now this will only make a very slight difference, but it is best to make it as easy as possible when trying to beat legendary. So next up, we suggest choosing the easiest teams. Now what do we mean by easiest teams? For those that are only looking to play a few games in order to hit sort of Elite 2, Elite 3, maybe Gold 1 in the least amount of games, or for people who are only playing squad battles for objective purposes, we do suggest just picking the lower rated, lower chemistry teams. These teams are usually bronze teams or low rated goals teams, or a mixture of the two, and are naturally easier to beat rather than the high rated power squads. High chemistry teams are where the AI will have a much easier time of passing the ball around, like Prime Barcelona, which can be incredibly frustrating to play. However, this can also be true at times for low rated teams, as I'm sure everybody's experienced that 47 rated goalkeeper scoring a bicycle kick to end your clean sheet dreams. You do need to bear in mind that you do only have 10 refreshes and that is it, so you do need to be careful when you are skipping through your sets of 4, otherwise you will run out of sets of skips and then potentially not have enough games to hit the rank that you desire. Next up, we have a competitive team. Now what do we mean by a competitive team? Another thing that can really hold you back from being able to beat the AI 5-0 on legendary can actually be your team. Now I know what you're thinking, so I can only win on legendary with a god squad? No, not at all. You just need to have a team that is competitive with the team that you're coming up against. So if you have a really low rated team with some bad players, but you're playing a lot of good teams with a lot of good level players that are better than yours, then you are going to find it difficult to win, let alone 5-0 against legendary. So you just need to be mindful with your team. It has to be at least be on par with what you're coming up against, especially if you're coming up against some of these low rated teams. If you just have a decent standard meta squad, you should be fine, and just evolve it as the year progresses. Now, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you do hit the like button, make sure you do subscribe, and make sure you do turn on the notifications bell so that you do know exactly when we release new content. So next up, we're going to get back into our custom tactics that we suggest for squad battles. This is obviously something that we specialize in, and it is something that is often overlooked by a lot of people when playing squad battles. We do see a lot of people that take their custom tactics and formations and their setups really seriously when playing FUT champs or division rivals, but people don't seem to do the same thing in squad battles, and we think this is a huge mistake. Now, you can set up tactics slightly differently when playing against the AI, and that is one thing that we do generally do, is go a little bit more attacking, because the 5 goals that we need to score is far more important than protecting the clean sheet. So we do tend to push our fullbacks forwards a lot more. If you're someone on stay back, pushing them forwards are balanced. We do also like to play on a slightly higher depth as well. Sometimes if you are playing super low rated teams, we may even play like press on possession loss until we have the 5 goals, and then we will switch into a different tactic. Another thing that you do need to bear in mind is that if you go for a more attacking custom tactics, you do need to have a slightly defensive setup once you have that 5-goal lead. The reason you need to do this is because when you have got the 5 goals, the corners, the shots on target, you then need to make sure you go more defensive to hang on to that clean sheet, which can have massive swings in your performance and the maximum points you're able to attain, whether you get the clean sheet or not. So here you can see are my custom tactics for my attacking and offensive situations. You don't need to copy these as they do work for my playstyle, but if you want to use them as a template and then just adjust for any changes that you have to suit your own style, then please feel free to do so. We have 2 formations that we like in the attacking part, which is the 4-2-2 and a 5-2-1-2, and our defensive formation is the 4-2-3-1. We really like this because it is really compact and difficult to break down and does give us a little bit more help when we are defending that clean sheet. So now moving on to the last thing, which are some little gameplay tips that will help you when you're actually playing against the AI. We do find that power shots are one of the most effective ways to score against the AI, as they tend to back off, and once you get in behind the midfield, they do tend to sort of drop a little bit deeper. So whenever you get in that position, make sure you do utilize that shot, because you do have a good chance of scoring due to how overpowered it is right now. Next up, we do suggest not rushing your attack, making sure you have a lot more of the ball than the AI, because they are ridiculous in possession. You do want to keep the ball off them as long as possible. And because the AI is very aggressive, if you pass the ball around effectively, gaps will open up very easily due to how high they press you, which can make it very easy to score goals. And then the last thing is to not stress if you don't get the clean sheet. The AI is just ridiculously tough. You know, even with players like Benteke or Mateta or whoever at the moment, some basic bog standard common goals, they're playing with like everybody's a 91 rated Mbappe. So they are nearly always going to score a goal. So even if you can't get the 5-0 in that clean sheet, just make sure you get that 5 goals. And then if you concede, don't stress about it. You know, even with a 5-1 or a 5-2, you're still going to get anywhere from 2,350 to 2,500 points, depending on the quality of team that you play, which will dictate obviously the points you can get. So they're the tips and tricks that we think are going to be the best for you to get maximum points on squad battles in Legendary. And as we said earlier in the video, unless you are a super high level skilled player, or you need to play on this difficulty throughout the year for objectives, we do suggest not playing really above world class. Mainly it's to save your sanity, but also because the game is about having fun, and we don't think squad battles is the most fun game mode to play. So in order for us to continue to make videos like this, we do need your help with a couple things. Firstly, we need to make sure you hit the like button. Secondly, we need to make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Thirdly, make sure you hit that notifications bell. And then fourth, make sure you do let us know down in the comment section any other topics that you want us to cover. And the last thing is to make sure you go and follow our other social media platforms, which are TikTok and Twitter, if you want to see more content from us. The links to all of these are down in the description below. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.